George Washington has moved on to the quarterfinals tomorrow night to face number 2 George Mason. We will start with an opening statement from Coach Caputo, take questions for the student athletes, and then questions for Coach. Coach?
Yeah, before we get started, I'd be remiss if I didn't just mention John Feinstein. John was a really good friend of mine. When I came back to the D.C. area to coach George Washington, we talked, and I don't know if people know his mom taught at George Washington, and he was very, very close, obviously, with Red Auerbach. So he's a big part of the GW family, and I went to one of the Chinese restaurant lunches about as soon as I got the job that spring, that they still do, and I'll be thinking about John when I go again this spring, just in his honor. So I just talked to him, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. He was actually teaching at Longwood in their honors college, and one of the just the greatest sports journal. I mean, you guys out here are sports journalists. He was in your seat. He's written some of the greatest books about sports. He wrote children's books about sports. He was like a sage, like people would go to him, ask his opinion on things that were happening in sports, but certainly in college basketball. So I was really heartbroken when I got the text today, and certainly I'll be thinking about John. And I remember and I know I'm being long-winded here, but it's emotional. 2006 in this building, Tony's playing for us, and I'm the assistant coach, and we beat UConn. We go to the Final Four. Everyone kind of runs over to our section, to kind of our families and the George Mason fans, and everyone's cheering. I'm just going crazy. And I remember kind of like after I turned back towards the court, I find John, and I just, again, sage, like, I want his validation. And I just looked at him and said, biggest upset ever? And, he had his pad and his pen. And he said, yeah, I think so. So, man, to think that was in this building, that's tough. So, anyway, I didn't think too much about it during the game, but kind of sad about it now. And, obviously there'll be a lot of people that, give him a lot of love here, as he deserves here in this area especially. So, with that, hell of a game. I did not think it was going to be easy. You look at what we did there. That was not Fordham. That was not their team. We've all had those moments, those nights where you're just not yourself. They were not themselves. I thought they were playing very well leading up to our game. They had some close games with St. Joe's and Davidson, others. Really competed hard. We caught them on the right night for us and the wrong night for them in Rose Hill. And, maybe that lingered a little bit in the Rhode Island game on the road, but then they came out, guns blazing yesterday, and, tried to make sure the guys knew, hey, this is not going to be the same type of game as it was last week. And I thought our guys did a really good job of, kind of maturity-wise, what we've done all year, being able to respond to that, and crazy free throw block out that gives them the lead, and some foul trouble, and we were like, could go the other way. And, Trey Autry bails us out. We've shredded zones all year, and we couldn't score against the zone. And we call timeout. We draw some stuff up. Maybe it was more open than others, but he made 3 big ones for us to put us in position to win the game. And that's what you need in conference tournament play. There's those games like this forever where, like, whatever you've done really well all year, all of a sudden you can't do it in the conference tournament. Whatever the other team has not done great, all of a sudden they're doing it. And so that was the case, and you need great players to sort of bail you out. And obviously Raphael's foul trouble in the first half hurt us, and he played a ton of minutes and helped us win the game in the second half. So great team effort from us, and excited to move on. First time in, I think, quite some time actually to get in the quarters for GW. So it's a year of firsts. We've done a lot that hasn't been done in a while. Here's another one.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions for the student athletes. We'll get you the mic. Please say your name, affiliation, and who the question is directed to. We'll start with Patrick in the front.
Patrick Stevens with Washington Post. What were you kind of seeing in those opportunities there in the last 2 minutes, and was it just simply a matter of continuing what you had been doing for much of the game already?
Yeah, obviously, like Coach said, it was a team effort, and down the stretch, He drew up some great plays. I just happened to be open, and I have all the confidence in the world because all my teammates, have all the confidence in the world in me. If you watch the game, I missed some pretty open ones, but after every single shot, they're encouraging me to, keep shooting and keep firing. So when you got the people behind you telling you that, there's not much you can really say. And, I threw a few in. All glory to God, and we came out with a good win.
Second row.
Limo Mercu, Department of Hoops. Either of you guys, can you just talk about the crowd, the fact that games played just a few blocks from GW's campus, maybe how that helped you guys tonight, and just what this experience has been like playing in a conference tournament, 3 metro stops away from campus?
Well, yeah, me being here for 2 years, it was great to see, a great crowd. It was probably a better crowd than some of the Smith games. But, they were behind us. We went down with about 2 minutes left, and, they were right there to pick us back up, along with everybody who came in and contributed. So it was great to have, the tournament in D.C., great to have, all of our loved ones. We got a lot of DMV natives around, so they're bringing their family, they're bringing their friends, and then, just people around here. Like Coach has said, this is a year of first, so, us having, the good team that we had, I'm sure a lot of other people wanted to come out. So it was great to have a great crowd, and they definitely, gave us a 6-man today for sure.
We'll go third row on the right.
Ryan Jagiel, GW Hatchet. Coach Caputo, when Fordham went on that 10-0 run, what did
Questions for the student athletes.
my bad. All right, then come back to me.
Sorry, I got one. Ben Spitalny, GW Hatchet. This is for Raphael. 8-10 second team. Was there any extra motivation today from not? I see Trey's got it.
Second team, man.
Any extra motivation today for not making the first team? Something wanting to prove yourself maybe a little bit more?
I say no, not really. I get up for every game no matter what, and I'm trying not to focus too much on the voting polls and stuff like that, but I get up for every game.
We'll go second row in the middle on the left.
Scott Green, WRGW Radio. Raphael, really one of the true games today where you had really a lot of foul trouble since the beginning. What was the message in the huddle, just battling that foul trouble and still being impactful in those last few seconds there?
Yeah, I say those are the moments where you trust your teammates the most, and my guys pick me up. It's a family. At the end of the day, it's not one-on-one, it's 5-on-5, and I know they're going to pick me up every time.
Go Alex in the front.
Thank you. Alex Flynn with DC News Now. For Trey, you hit those last 3, the 1, the second, the third. You're interacting a lot with the fans, looking towards them, make a lot of hand motions. What's that moment like for you, knowing what you're delivering to this program and this fan base to experience that?
No, yeah, for sure. If you know me, I'm very into the game, so it's probably not a surprise to a lot of people. But, it's a childhood dream, just being on the big stage, bright lights, being able to knock a few shots down, being able to enjoy a great moment with my teammates. Last year we went home on a heartbreaker the last few seconds, so just being able to, be in an event like this, an environment like this where you got the crowd, you got your teammates, and, it's not like an easy game, you're fighting for it, so it really means a lot. Kind of just lit me up like a candle for real.
Third row in the middle, right here.
Hi, Sid Heiss, GW Hatchet. You have a quick turnaround into the next game against George Mason, ended close during the season. Can you talk a little bit about the next steps and the thought process going into that game?
Well, earlier in the year, we went to the Virgin Islands, so we're kind of used to these quick turnarounds, and for about 8 weeks, I would say, we were going Wednesday, Saturday, just continuing to play, catching flights and everything. So we got a great recovery team. Luckily, we had a game that wasn't too late, so we still got some time to, get off our feet, eat, and, rest. But, just keeping that same mentality, keeping that same edge, that same fight, kind of like Slim said, or Raphael said, we get up for every game. So, just getting that rest, putting it all in the tank, and then getting ready for it tomorrow.
First row in the middle here.
Raphael, this David Korn from A10 Talk. Third time facing George Mason this year, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Any sort of extra motivation going against them? I know you've had 2 tough losses towards them. What are your first reactions to having to face them again?
My first reaction is just learning from the first 2 losses and kind of just building off that, staying disciplined and what we believe in and staying true to our principles, and hopefully we get the 3rd win.
Go to Patrick in the front.
Raphael, wanted to ask about when you see Trey get rolling like that, and he'd already done it a little bit earlier in the game, kind of what's that like for you guys? Because he's had a few of those games. I think about that VCU game. What's it like when he is able to really get on a roll like that?
It's amazing. You know, it's almost like I'm out there shooting it for him. It feels great.
You tried.
Actually, I did shoot it today. I saw it today. But, yeah, it just feels great. You know, as a crasher, I try to do my job in offensive rebounding. But once I seen the first two go up, that third one, I didn't even look. I just jumped back. So I knew I was good.
We'll take one more for the student athletes in the back row.
John Titel from Hoops HD for Trey. You've been a great three-point shooter all year, and we're career-high three-point shooter tonight. But you only made 3 of 13 against Mason this year. I was curious, was it just a couple of cold shooting nights, or did they do something very tough on
the rims. Yeah, the rims are messed up, so I don't know. I don't got anything else from that. They are a great defensive team, though, I will say, but I think the rims are messed up, though.
Thank you, guys. You're both good to go. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
tomorrow.
See ya.
Questions for Coach? We'll start with Patrick in the front.
Chris, what's kind of your thinking as they come off that 14-1 run or whatever it was and take that lead, just given that you guys had it around 8-10 for most of the second half?
Yeah, I was trying to sub offense, defense a little bit. Doesn't always work exactly the way you want because, you know, sometimes like you get the stop and like the defensive group is on the court and you're like, and then I got to like, we can't get a stop no matter who's out there right now. So let's put the offensive group out there. And then, you know, Matt and I talked and said, we need to call a timeout here against zone. I thought there was one play where we said, oh, we're not going to call the timeout. We're going to try to do this without the timeout. And it was no good. And all right, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to call the timeout. And then that's when Trey goes on the barrages of threes. We had 3 charge calls today. That was really interesting. You know, I don't know. I mean, like there was two times against the zone, the ball is 2 feet from the rim, and we get an out of bounds and a charge call. So I don't know. Like we feel like if you can get the ball 2 feet from the rim, that's pretty good. You know, usually good things happen for us there, but didn't. So we had to just move further out and make those shots instead.
We'll go third row in the middle.
Coach, you talked a little bit earlier about missing John Feinstein being in the building tonight, but you did have a lot of GW community members.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy Patsos was here, former player Antoine Smith was in the building.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be able to coach here in DC in the tournament and still having that fan base?
Yeah, it was cool.
Base?
I've never been involved in anything like this where you're close to you're this close, obviously, to the conference tournament. So it's unique. I like it. We're not trying to find gym time or anything like that, although we got gymnastics tomorrow, so it's not like we're practicing tomorrow anyway. But, I think it's great, and I think obviously it's great that now Mason and us are going to play, and I would expect there to be a great crowd tomorrow. Which, look, I would ask Mr. Bezos too, like let's pick it up here, right? Let's pick it up, and he's been doing it for many years, so I'm glad I see Patrick all the time. He's the best. He's got the most in-depth. But, let's go. Washington Post, Maryland's good. GW's good. George Mason's good. Americans going to the NCAA tournament. All right, Georgetown's coming back. Right, they had an injury to a great player, or they would have had a great year. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's get back. I was here, right? I was here years ago. So let's cut it out and let's start. And I think the other thing is the Commanders are really good, and that just drives more interest anyway. Let's get back to covering college basketball big time in this area. It's like you ask and you will receive. Well, you ask for good programs, you got all good programs right now. And so that we need to get back to all that here. And I think tomorrow's environment and all that, will be a testament to where the programs are at. Tony's done an incredible job with his group. I think we've done a lot with where we were 3 years ago to where we are now. And we need to make sure that, we're doing a great job promoting the brands of college basketball in this area. And obviously Matt and his group and obviously my GW students are the best. But we need to do a great job of covering the college basketball in this historically great college basketball area.
Go to second row, middle.
Hey, Rothstein, WRGW. Coach, it seemed like today Buchanan had, one of the games that he would have had either last season or before his injury. I'm just curious, could you talk about, why you think today he kind of went back to that aggressive nature?
He was playing with force, playing with force. We needed it against these guys. I thought, played with force, got on the offensive glass, had 7 rebounds. Did a really good job. Our front court's been good, all year. All 3 of those guys have been, excellent. And as a group, you toss Diane in there too, who gives us good minutes here and there as a young player. A lot to learn still, but I've been happy with our front court, and I thought Darren was really good today.
Alex in the front.
Coach, you win the game in the fashion you do today. You're talking about having to turn right around and play George Mason. Does the excitement and the intensity at the end of that game and the way you won, do you think maybe that, in a way, you can use that to carry into tomorrow and have somewhat of an advantage over the fact that they've been sitting around?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen both sides of it. I thought Fordham was, they were dialed in to start. I actually thought we did some good things early, but they were dialed in to start. And I just think Mason's really good. They're now well rested. We're not as well rested. They're very physical. It's hard to go up against a very physical team like that. But I also think we had 2 great games. So I think our guys will have confidence there, and as will they. They've had a great year, so it'd be exciting. Great day for basketball in the DC area.
Go to Dave, standing in the back.
Dave too. Sorry, Dave. I didn't see you there. I
was
would have
hiding.
mentioned you too.
I was hiding at the time. No, Jackie Johnson III had, but you guys, how difficult was it to contain him tonight? But you guys were able to hold him to just 1 basket over the final 6 minutes.
Yeah, I just, so I told the guys before we're up there, like, hey, one of these 2 guys has to have a bad night. They both can't have a great night. And yesterday they both had a great night, got 53, I think, between them. Jaffet got a couple buckets late, but for the most part, 3 of 15, you had to stop, but we couldn't stop Jackie, and he's been like that all year. Just we were able to do it up there, and that's why we won by such a margin.
We'll go 3rd row middle.
Thank you. Back-to-back games, I know a week between, but back-to-back games against Fordham for you guys. What was it like practice-wise having to...
Yeah, it was really odd, not only that, but then Fordham played Rhode Island in the last regular season game. So I don't know if anybody will think I'm stupid for this, but maybe. But I just told the guys, like, hey, we're going to maybe tilt a little bit towards Rhodey because we hadn't played them in 2 months. There were also some themes that were the same, the guard play, the pace, both teams top 3 in the league in tempo. We just weren't quite as familiar with Rhodey because it's been so long. Plus, Fuchs and Green didn't play in the game against us. June didn't play in the game either, needed to Trey Moss. But my point is we tilted maybe just a little bit more towards Rhodey just going into it, not because we thought Fordham wouldn't win the game. I just think, we'd played Fordham less than a week ago at that point. And but then once we knew we were playing Fordham, then we were able to get film session in, get a good shoot around today. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, but also a lot of familiarity because it was the last game we played. But I can't remember. I can remember doing that, like playing a team, but I don't remember. Well, I don't remember a bye, and I don't remember the teams that were played each other the game before. And now in Fordham's case, and Keith's done a great job of keeping his team engaged and fighting. I can't remember a team that played, 2 teams that they just played in the tournament. It's got to be a first, so somebody could find that.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go front middle.
I'm complaining about media. I guess I'll have to take some on the side, right?
Coach, can you just sort of talk about the past 2 years in the tournament? You have had some tough results. And
yeah,
today you
close games. Yep.
Yeah, and today you got your first tournament win as a head coach. Can you just sort of talk about what that means to you, and if got the monkey off your back, anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't really see it like a monkey. I mean, I on my back. I felt like in year 1. It was a heck of a game with St. Joe's. Year 2 was a heck of a game with LaSalle. These close games, I mean, you're either going to win or lose these close games. And so we had another. I knew today was going to be close. I didn't think there was going to be a 23-point win like it was up there. And we were able, to get it. And I think for us, like, hey, get to 20 wins. Where's your net? Where's your KenPom? Where's your league record? Do you get to buy? You know, okay, now do you win a game in the tournament? Hey, can you get to the postseason? Like, those are all the things that I feel like for us right now, quite honestly, you know, we're maybe getting close to that last year before the injuries, but now I think we've kind of done it in some ways. I think if this was year 2, everyone would feel like, man, hey, that's a hell of a year 2. And we were 14-3 at one point last year, so with good wins, you know, at VCU and Mason at home by a wide margin. And so, you know, I think for us, we're in a very natural progression of where the program needs to go, and I feel good about that. I mean, I think it's the most wins since 16 now overall and all that. So feel good. We can get one more, be in the semi. I don't know the last time we were in the semi. 14? Yeah, so, you know, that would be nice, but not going to be easy. But, yeah, I feel good about where we're at, and then we got this one, obviously.
We'll take the last one in the middle here, second row.
Hi, Coach. Joe Szymanski, Giant Killer. Final question for you. Just with George Mason and you guys, there's always been, since Mason's joined the A-10, trying to like get that rivalry really going.
Yeah.
And now this year, it feels like with both of you at the level you guys are playing,
Yeah.
it's reached that pinnacle. Do you think, how good is that, you think, for the DMV as a whole, that you both are at
Yeah,
the level you're
it's
at
great.
right now?
When I was at George Mason, we didn't play GW until I think maybe my last 2 years. So it just was not something that was happening a lot at that time. Obviously, in the league, you're going to play twice. And, you know, my first year, we had a great win there, and then they came back and beat us at our place. You know, last year, we had a great win at our place. We played about as good as we could play. And then Darren's out. Garrett could barely walk. They drilled us from the start last year at their place. This year, we almost won the game about 3 times at their place, and then but didn't win. And then I thought they were very, very good. And I thought we were dead in the water. And it was almost like this game where we come back and took a lead. Haynes scored, and then we missed 2 free throws, down 1 with 30 seconds. So the games have been super competitive. I'm really proud of Tony and obviously that staff, and Lamar Butler obviously is on the staff. Who, you know, those guys have done so much for me in my career. To help me, you know, get different jobs and things like that because of how well they played, you know. And I've been so proud of, you know, bringing some of what we did, what Coach Larinaga did, back to the program. They, you know, talked a lot about the Final Four, and now they've got some guys there that really, you know, knows what that looks like, and I think they've performed. They've had a hell of a year. I wish we would have made a free throw in Fairfax, and maybe they wouldn't have had quite as good of a year. But, you know, they deserve a lot of credit, and I think it's a good rivalry. I think they're, you know, we need this type of stuff. We don't have like what Philly has. Maybe this will be a little taste of it here, and that's a good thing. And, you know, we're not going anywhere. I don't think they're going anywhere, and I expect us to be amongst the best teams in this league for a long time.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Head coach Keith Ergo, Jackie Johnson III, and Jaffe Medor. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, take questions for the student athletes, and then questions for Coach.
I want to go ahead and give hats off to GW, Coach Caputo, and his team. They made some big plays. Trey Autry, got to give him credit. 3 for 3. He made big shots when they needed to, but they're connected and they played really tough, and he should be proud of them. He's done a great job. Good luck to them moving forward. As far as our guys, I'm incredibly proud. We talk all year long about being the best team we could be by the end of the year, and unfortunately, it's a little too late. But we actually are. Wish we all could keep playing because we are the best team we could be right now. But I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of our seniors. Alex Usatane, who's the head manager for us, his sacrifice and support over the course of the last 4 years helped us build a standard. Our managerial staff is off the charts. The kid's amazing. Matt Zona played his heart out for us, man. Gave us his energy and effort every single day, his leadership. He left an impact on our program for sure. Zach Riley, 4 years, created the standard, gave us unbelievable lift in the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes of that game. He embodies everything we want a Fordham basketball player to be, and he'll be a legend in our program for a long time. Abdou Timbala, I've known him for almost half of his life, 9 years. The way he finished that game is representative of all the energy, the effort, the dedication he's put into this program. He, too, has been here 4 years, and we've created a standard at Fordham unlike any other time at Fordham, and we're going to continue to build off that because of him. Jackie Johnson, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Took a chance on us, came, raised the level of our program. His work ethic is unlike anything I've ever been around. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And this dude is one of the toughest dogs around, and he gave us absolutely everything he could. He developed as a man first and foremost, which is more important. And you could see it in the last couple of games. His connectivity, his leadership, his poise on the court. I hate the fact that I don't get a chance to spend more time around him between the lines because he's special, and I appreciate him forever. Jaffe Medor, his growth over the course of the last 2 years has been absolutely fantastic. He's grown into just such an incredible leader for us. He's left an unbelievable impact on me, my family, our program, and we cannot appreciate him anymore. I mean, his development off the court is more impressive than even on the court. So, again, our seniors are just awesome people. And that's what you have in that locker room. We get great people that just continue to battle. So many teams that have the year that we had, fight through the adversity that we had, they would quit and probably be out in the first round. Not only did we not quit, but we played our best basketball here the last 2 days. Just unfortunately ran out of time. So I just want to make sure I thank them from the bottom of my heart and my staff as well. Not easy to go through what we went through this year, and everybody stuck together.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand. We'll get you the mic. State your name, affiliation, and address who the question is to. Patrick.
Jackie, it's Patrick Stevens from the Washington Post. Just what kind of keyed that surge back for you guys once you got down 13 or so there in the second half?
We just knew it just started on the defensive end, and I feel like when we really honed in on that, we seen the game turn around for us.
And Javette, if you could kind of walk me through what it was, what you were seeing as Autry got those opportunities late for them.
You said what? Sorry.
Just what did you guys see as Autry got those opportunities and those shots for them down the stretch?
Got to give him his hats off. He, stepped up, made some big shots. Hand was in his face and he hit it. Just got kudos to him.
Right here.
Jackie, I know you've only spent 1 year here, but just can you talk a little about what kind of impact this program has had on you and your decision to come here and the impact that Fordham basketball has had on you?
It's meant everything. you really can't even put it into words, to be honest. It's coming from UNLV, you know, where I didn't really play the most, you know. But coming here, what coach that, you know, believed in me, took a chance on me. He said I took a chance on him. He took a chance on me. Man, it's not enough thank yous in the world, you know, to really let him know how much I appreciate him, the staff, Fetty and the rest of the players, you know, accepting me. Man, it's really can't even put it into words, man. To be honest with you, just beyond thankful, beyond appreciative.
Lou Orlando, WFUV, Jackie and Jaffe, for both of you, the entire season we heard from your coaching staff about your senior group and keeping everyone engaged despite some of the tough losing streaks. From your perspective, what was special about this senior class and what kept you guys engaged that you were able to play your best basketball here in the tournament?
Coach Herb right here, every day he came in energized. I feel like he just said a couple minutes ago, I feel like anybody who would have went through what we went through would have quit, but Coach never quit. So it's like, you know, we can't quit. So he came every day with the energy, and we just followed his lead.
Stuck to his mentality. You know, we stick with the Fordham pride. Come in every day, work our butts off, and you know, just try to follow his footsteps.
Right here.
Chaz McAdams, WFUV Sports. Jaffe, can you just speak to how, coming from UTSA through your 2 years in this program, how your development as a player and how you were able to grow, and coming from JUCO again through the whole process, just what's that process been like through these 2 years?
Through these 2 years, I just felt like just being around coaches and the coaching staff and the players that we had come in, like Jackie, Kyle Rose, and Trell Charlton, Josh. I could keep going on, but just being around the same mentality, like everybody want to win, everybody trying to have that same Fordham pride, trying to just compete. And we used to compete every day in practice. In the summer, we was damn near fighting each other, trying to compete. So I felt like coming here was just like one of the best decisions I made, because like Coach said, like it's bigger than basketball at the end of the day, like off the court. You know, we're human beings. So I feel like I found myself a family, and I felt like they're here to stick by my side forever. So.
Anything else for the student athletes? Okay, thank you guys. You're good to go. We'll take questions for Coach. We'll start
Before you take questions, I just want to, I want to apologize to those guys and the rest of the seniors. We had enough talent to be really successful this year, and I failed them in a number of areas, and that's why it sucks that we don't get the chance to continue to fight, because those. I mean, you listen to those two kids and the maturity that they have and how much they've grown. I feel bad that they didn't get to experience what we believe we could have, and that's on me. I didn't do a good enough job with this team.
Patrick.
Keith, sorry. The work that Autry was able to do, I mean, you guys had obviously stymied them a fair bit from the outside with the zones. Was it just a matter of him making a couple shots late as much as anything else?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't open. So, I mean, he had some really difficult shots. I mean, all three of them looked like they were about to hit the ceiling. They were all contested. One of them was open. You got to give him a lot of credit, man. That kid has gotten, you know, he was a little pudgy last year. His body's grown. He's grown into his body. He's been fantastic. He's tough. He's nasty, you know, like his dad, right? So, but for him to make those shots at the moments that he made them, I mean, we were in control. I mean, they had nothing. And all three shots were contested and very difficult. I mean, he hit the last one, a moon ball over Abdou Samala, all right? So, like, hats off to him. It wasn't anything other than the player making plays, and that's what happens late in games at this level. Guys make plays. Our guys made a ton of them. Unfortunately, he hit three big shots, obviously. So credit to him.
Go right here, second row.
Coach, you just talked about obviously the struggles this season and everything like that, and I'm sure there are a lot of coaches around this league in a similar position to you. How do you bounce back a program like this?
Oh, well, that's easy. I mean, first of all, you get to coach the entire year. That's one. You keep your continuity. We got an unbelievable lot of great young guys in our program that have been working their butts off. So we have a lot of really good young talent. We have some talent coming back, and then really excited about our freshman class coming in. I think some of the better freshmen currently on our roster and kids coming in that probably Fordham's had in a long time. So, you know, at a place like Fordham, we want a place that you can sustain for a long time. We're not just a one-hit wonder in today's world. You know, do you win right away? Do you try to go get a bunch of transfers? Well, we have a standard that's been set, and that's why you don't see any quit, right? So we want to build it with, you know, guys that have been in our program for a number of years, understand our standard, and then obviously bring in a couple of transfers that fit perfectly. And that's what we got to do a good job of this spring and summer, especially in the spring over the course of the next 2 months. We got to do a great job of making sure we bring in kids that are the right fit, you know, as transfers to our program and to our institution. It's really important.
Anything else for Coach? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Go Rams.